and with Rory and Grant from Dataloft. Chaps, how important is a brand of an estate agency to what levels of fees the agent can get? Talk to me.
I think it's fundamental that you build a strong brand. And I think what you're looking for is ammunition to justify your fee or reduce it by less. And I think if you set out right from the start with your customers and be very clear about the levels of service that they get, how how you're going to communicate with them, all those kind of things. But what we also help clients to do is if you could say to them, I'm going to, as part of being a customer of our agent, we're going to supply you with regular updates on the local market. We're going to keep you up to date with the conditions. We're going to let you know how your house is doing. And actually, after we've worked with you, then we'll stay in touch. We'll tell you what your property's worth in a year, 2 years, 3 years. I think that is a really nice extra bit of ammunition to protect your fee.
And just, I think on that, I spoke to a couple of agents last week, and they said very much, transactions are down, so it's all about maximising the fee they get.
Yeah.
So
the pie is smaller. The cake is smaller. You've just got to have a bigger pie of it.
Absolutely. So stand. I guess they said to us, we stand proud. We don't negotiate. This is our service charter. This is how we want you to judge us, Mr. Customer, once this transaction is over. And that no one has said no to it all. So it's a really.
It's interesting the amount of estate agents that are complaining about your purple bricks and your cheap fee agents. But if they actually got off their backsides and actually went through Rightmove Intel and actually looked at what the likes of Purple Bricks and their mates were selling their properties for, and then looked at what high street agents were actually selling their properties for, and actually created a story. Go on.
Yeah. No, I was going to say it's interesting because that whole fee thing, the agency I was in before, we were a high street agent, but we sold for 845. Okay, that was our mantra, and we had this great service charter. This is what we're going to do. So we do everything a normal agent that's been established in this town would do. So people would walk in, they'd come in and ask us, we're looking to sell our house. I'm quite personable, good salesman. I'd get straight over
Quite
there.
good, I think you're very good.
Thank you very much, Chris. I'd get straight over there. Like, this is what we're going to do for you, Mr. Customer. This is how we are going to sell your house for the best price possible. And this is what we charge, 845. Brilliant. Can we have a pack? Yeah, of course you can. There you go. I'll have a think about it. You'd watch them trot over the road, go to a more maybe established agent that one's been a while, and pay 1.5%. So that taught me very clearly that people don't mind paying as long as they're going to get that service.
We as agents have to prove our worth. It's why, how can Waitrose sell a bag of apples for £3? That Marks and Spencer's it's £2.25. It's still a bag of apples.
It's the quality of the brand.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great.
And Lidl 50p, it's
If
still
you
a
can
bag of...
show your local market that you're a quality brand, then you're going to go.
Why did Savills? You look at Savills marketing. Their marketing isn't, "Hi, look at us, we're Savills and we've sold this and our fees are this."
Yeah.
Their research department is their marketing department, isn't it?
Very much so. They chose to go down that line of, we're going to share the fact that we know the market inside out with our customers, and in return they're going to respect us as a brand, and they're going to regard it as the go-to agent in the area when it comes to the property market.
Why do you think other agents haven't jumped on the bandwagon as much? And obviously the big boys like Knight Frank and a few of the others, but why do you think it hasn't become mainstream that most estate agents talk about the one thing they're actually involved with, which is the property market?
I think in London it did. So, it started with Savills and Knight Frank, and then we started working with kind of boutique-y, very high-end Mayfair agents to help to produce market reports for them. And, they were going up against Savills and Knight Frank in pitches, so they needed to do the same as the big boys. And then we worked with people like Winkworth and then Foxtons. And so in London it is quite an established part of the culture to share your knowledge of the market with people, to invest in it. Outside of London, it's not caught on. In fact, I think it's very difficult for people to do that themselves. They do need help from the likes of you, Chris, or us guys at Dataloft. It can go horribly wrong if you do the wrong. If you bring data to life but in the wrong way, it can have bad side effects.
How do you think people get challenged on the data and the stats often?
Clients.
Yeah.
I think Yeah, I do, because I think people are a lot more savvy now with the internet. You know, they can go on and get a house price valuation. They can go on and see they have a perception what market conditions are doing. So I think, yeah, maybe not everyone would, but I certainly think the numbers would be more.
What do you do to protect your clients about people challenging them on the numbers?
Well, I mean, everything. We have disclaimers. We have sources for all the data. So everything on there is backed up. We often, on Inform, we have the methodologies as to how we came to those results. And then as a company, we completely welcome clients to call us if they're stuck. So if they're going out to do a pitch, they might have printed off a market report and actually said, oh, I'm not quite sure what that means and I want to talk about the market with the client. So we talk them through it. They can get an analyst on the phone, basically. Because it's not easy for everyone.
No.
It really isn't.
No, I agree. We do exactly the same.
Yeah.
So basically, guys, what you're telling me is branding is probably the only thing that we estate agents have got to grow their business, to get better fees. You can't earn branding and trust overnight. And the best way to do that is to actually be interesting to homeowners and landlords in the locality. Not talk about yourself, your firm, or your services, but talk about the one thing that homeowners and landlords are interested in. And what's that?
Their local property
There
market.
you go.
Yeah.
Job done.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you.
Pleasure, Chris. Thank you.